When you do make money, you've got certain things you have to do with it. Remember I said we need to figure out a way to use money more than once. When we make money, we have our living and our lifestyle expenses immediately to deal with. Now, let me differentiate these two for you. Living is food, clothing, shelter, and transportation. Okay? Lifestyle is how expensive those are. Because your transportation can be a $5,000 used car, or it can be a $50,000 car, or a $100,000 car. It's transportation either way. The lifestyle is the issue. Your shoes, your clothes, the food you eat, the place you live in, all can vary in the cost of it to you. So right now in America, most people's money is gone right here. Remember what we said before is that Parkinson's law states that expenses will grow to meet or exceed income. See, I've had people tell me, well, yeah, Tim, I know about that. The problem in America is everybody spends everything they make. That is not any longer the problem in America. The problem now is that we spend everything we make and everything we can borrow. This is where the slavery and the bondage ultimately comes in. This is the reason you can't just stop and climb off the hamster wheel. Okay? Understand that, well, we'll get to debt reduction in a minute, but understand that it's not about just spending all you make, it's about borrowing more than you actually have. Give you a picture of that. In America right now, these, and the number is growing, so my number is probably outdated. The newest form of debt in America is cell phones. $60 billion last year of financed cell phones. That was last year. I have no idea what it is currently. $60 billion just on cell phones has been financed. And dramatically, the vast majority of the people that are doing that are people that can't afford the $1,000 cell phone. So they're financing it. $35 a month, $25 a month, whatever it is, but it's $60 billion worth. We understand that we got to have some savings or emergency fund. We're already done by the time we get done with living and lifestyle. Most people don't have anything left, but now we understand we got to have savings and emergency funds. So any plan that I help you provide or develop for yourself has to include a decent living and lifestyle. It also has to include having some savings or an emergency fund. The harsh reality is that according to GoBankingRates.com, in 2016, if you look at these numbers here, let's see if I can get this bigger for you. Right here, 34% of Americans at the end of 2016 had $0 of savings. 34%, and the next 35% had less than $1,000. So that's 69% of the American population at the end of 2016 had less than $1,000 of savings or an emergency. If they had an emergency that was over $1,000, they'd have no way of meeting it at all, other than more debt. Yeah. So we need to keep that in mind. Debt reduction. You're told all the time, you need to start reducing your debt. Get out of debt, get out of debt. And I agree, couldn't agree more. The fastest, easiest, well, maybe not easiest, because it's going to take some changing some habits, but the fastest and most assured way of increasing one's net worth or overall wealth is to reduce debt. It works 100% of the time, and there's no downside to it. You can't get hurt by reducing debt. See, net worth, for those of you that don't know how to calculate that, it's all of your assets or asset values, which would be cash, cars, houses, properties, whatever it might be, you know, bonds, stocks, whatever, less any debt that you have is your net worth. So if we have zero debt, our net worth just went up dramatically because now it's just equal to all of our assets. Fastest way to do it is by debt reduction.